What up, my poker peeps? It's the Hatter. So I was watching about the Jack's Best Bet live stream, looking at the chat, and I was gonna break down my hands. But as y'all know, I'm more about the story and the people. And as I went through it, I played with a young man. He's in the thumbnail. His name's Zarc. I think that's how the commentator said it. I'm pretty sure that's how he said it to me. But this video is about him and his people. And if y'all are watching this, stay to the end because I got a question for y'all and I got some stuff to say to y'all. So we're going to jump in. He played two really big hands that I'm going to break it down, give my thoughts on it. And at the end, I'm going to kind of just talk about why I'm making this video. Because like I said, I was planning on doing my own hand breakdowns, which I'm going to do. It'll be probably the next video or the second video after this one. But sometimes, you know, the moment hits you and just something speaks to you and you got to do it. So like I said, it's more about the people in the story than it is about poker hands and breakdowns. And that's what my channel is more about than just a simple poker vlog. So let's go ahead and jump into the hands and then I'll come back. I'll ask the Zarc-Manics, as I like to call them after seeing the chat, a question. And also I want to speak on Zarc and his fan club. That's pretty much what it was. So let's go ahead and jump into these two hands. I'll give you my thoughts on the hands. Of course, everything I say is just my opinion, so take it with a grain of salt, but we'll break these hands down. So let's jump into the hands, then I'll get right back with y'all. All right, without further ado, let's jump into some of the hands here. We're going to go over two hands that Zarc played, and this hand, as I'm going to show some comments from the chat at the end. This is when the chat goes pretty crazy. So when it gets to Zarc, he looks down at ace-jack offsuit, and he goes ahead and opens up. I think that's a pretty good open. And it's going to fold around to a free Willy. He's been playing a lot of cards, but also he had just got stacked ace-king into aces. So he might be steaming a little bit, and he's going to go ahead and get in there with jack-6 suited and diamonds. And eventually it's going to fold all the way around, and we're going to go heads up to a flop. So at this point, Zarc actually has them right where he wants them. He has them with a dominating hand. So as we go to the flop is actually amazing for Free Willy. He's going to go ahead and have gutter. He's going to have the flush draw. I mean, with the hand he's playing, this is about the best he can do. So when Zarc goes ahead and c-bets right here, I do like what Free Willy does here. Because he has so much equity and he should have a range advantage on this board right here, he goes ahead and puts in a raise. And now, on the other hand, Zarc, even though he don't hold no diamonds, when he makes this check raise, he should be repping two pairs, sets, possible straights, hands like that. But Zarc does have the gutter to what he'll probably think is a better straight. So he's going to go ahead and call. And when the turn comes off the 3 of clubs, which is an absolute brick, this is where Zarc checks. And this is where I believe Free Willy makes a huge blunder. The hands that you've represented on the flop should be big betting here. 3-4 should be small. I actually like him to pot it here or maybe overbet and put max pressure on Zarc's range of, it seems like what he has right here is 2 overs, but he could have 2 high diamonds. So you want to go ahead and put as much pressure as you can. He ends up betting half pot here, I believe. I believe he bet 55. And at this point, he's just giving Zarc way too good of a price to go ahead and chase his gutter. So I really don't like what Free Willy did there. I think once you decide to take an aggressive line on the flop, you should go ahead and continue that aggressive line. This bet just seems soft, like you're just, it almost looks like he's a little face up now, almost like on a combo draw, which would have been the other hand that he could have on the flop. So Zarc goes ahead and makes the call, and on the river comes another brick, and it's going to be the 4 of spades. And now, one thing I will say, when Zarc checks in flow here, once again, Free Willy is going to make kind of a little bigger bet, but still only about half pot. And I give Zarc a lot of credit, even though I don't think he has the best hand to bluff with here, but he doesn't block diamonds, which is a big thing. And I'm guessing he got some type of read and figured that he must have had a diamond draw. Maybe he picked up a read. I would like Zarc, if he watches this, to put why he thought this. But what he's about to do takes a lot of, as someone put into things, cojones. So he thinks, and for whatever reason, he pretty much takes him off of 2 pairs, sets, hands like that, and he's going to go ahead, think about it for a second, and eventually he's going to rip it and put all the pressure. Because that's the only way he's going to win this hand. He knows that. All he has is ace high. And fortunately for him, he runs into pretty much the worst hand that Free Willy's ever going to have in this situation. But, I mean, like I said, Free Willy kind of put himself in this situation. I think if he bets, like I said, pot, turn, and blast the river, he's going to get a fold from Zarc. But nonetheless, great hand by Zarc. Way to stand in the paint and make a big bluff. And I like that he didn't show it. Because his image was that he was playing pretty tight. And as you can see by the VPIP, if you watched it, he was playing pretty tight. So, we're going to move on to the second hand here. And this hand is going to be a different villain. It's going to be Saul. Saul's going to go ahead and open up here. He's been playing pretty tight for the most night. So, but when he opens up on a button, he should be a little wider. And this is one thing I don't like because there was a limper and then you have the big blind behind, or the straddler, excuse me, the straddler was Zach with no H. And Zarc decides to just flat call with me and the big blind and then the straddler behind with ace king suited. I think he should isolate and squeeze out of position here. Maybe go to 65 to 80 and go ahead and try to isolate Saul, who should have a pretty good, but ace king suited, he should want to go with it. Needless to say, he goes ahead and flat calls, and pretty much Saul, for the hand that he has opened up here, ace eight of hearts. At this point, I actually like Saul's game, and I like what he's doing here because, for one, with him opening up, in theory, he should have range advantage. So he's going to continue with the pressure and make a bet right here. And, of course, now Zarc has got top pair, top kicker. And once again, he decides to just flat call. With the 2 hearts on board, this might be a time to go ahead and raise and get if them other 2 opponents out of there and get it heads up. But he calls, the other 2 opponents get out of the way. And now the pot is really starting to balloon up a little bit. When the 10 of diamonds comes, of course, I believe Saul, being the player he is, he feels like he has range advantage, and also he has a ton of equity. In his mind, he thinks maybe an ace would be good, a jack, and definitely a heart. So he's going to go ahead and continue barreling on the turn, which I like. And Zarc, now he knows, I mean, he's got top pair, top kicker, but now he has Jack gives him Broadway, so he's got plenty of options here too. Once again, he's just going to go ahead and keep all the bluffs in. If he was thinking like this, super proud of you, young man. A lot of people wouldn't do that. So when the 5 comes, that's actually a pretty good card because now if for some reason, let's say that Saul had King Jack, now you have 2 pair and he's in a bad situation. So Saul's going to go ahead and put max pressure, which he should be doing. I love the line he took, just triple barreling this hand. And now, if he there's no way he's thinking that Zarc has ace king because his hand is so under-repped right here. So Zarc thinks about it for a little bit and he really goes through it. And I think at the end of the day, and I'm pretty sure this is what he's thinking. I'm going to give him a lot of credit here because I really think he's on this level. I do believe he's thinking, at this point, I'm so under-repped and I'm at the top of my range. If he happens to have ace jack, set of queens, he blocks kings. I mean, if he has pocket aces, something like that, so be it. But at this point, Zarc's at the top of his range. He's got to go ahead and find a call here, which eventually does. And I'm super proud of him for making a call here. I don't think you could fold. I think if he would have folded here, looking back, I think maybe the moment was getting to him. But the moment definitely did not get to him tonight. The only thing I say is maybe the 3-bet pre didn't happen because he was trying not to get into a pot like this. But he takes his time and thinks it out. And eventually here in just a second makes a great call. So my top hat's off to you, sir. That was a good call. And it's the right call. I mean, sometimes you're going to run into it, but we can't be afraid of monsters under the bed. And you just played a great session top to bottom, in my opinion. And like I said, I believe overall, you did a great job. So let's go ahead and watch the end of this clip, and then I'll get right back to y'all with my thoughts and a couple of questions for the Zarc-Manics. He looks so relieved right here. I love it. Love to see the young man doing well. And that's the end of Saul's night. I like how he's talking about it. He was a little worried about ace jack right there is what he was saying. But great move. Great move. All right, y'all. I'll tell you what, that was 2 big hands right there. Like I said, I broke them down. I talked about them. So let's move on from that. The question I have for the Zarc-Manics, the fan club. Tell me about A-bomb. What does it mean? I seen towards the end of the chat, someone said a bunch of misfits. Y'all come down in the comments. Y'all represent what it means to y'all, because, I mean, there was a shirt and everything, so it must be something dear to y'all's heart. Love to hear about it and learn more of why it's so important to y'all. To Zarc himself, I'm going to put this out here. For the young man to be as young as he is and to carry himself as way he is and have himself together. He's a pre-med student at the university out in the Panhandle that I won't speak of because I'm a Gator fan. But like I told him, that he's getting education and that he's got life by the horn. So, and he's so humble and was just a pleasure. I can't say enough nice things about him. I think the world about the young man. And to his fan club, in poker and life, times get hard and you need a support group and you need people cheering for you. Especially, it's great to have them there when you're doing good, but it's also there to be there when you're down and the tough times come. And to see y'all rally around him and in the chat like that really means a lot to me. And I just want to make this video and tell all y'all that were in that chat and talking them up and being there for them. And I'm going to post comments all up here of all the craziness y'all put and all the support. That's awesome, y'all. Y'all are a great group of people, and y'all keep on supporting him because his future is super bright. And I hope all y'all have a blessed day. And if y'all are poker players too, I hope the flops are with you and you get good cards. All right, y'all. I just had to make this video because it just touched my heart watching it. So we'll jump into the next video. I'm going to start working on the editing now, but I just had to make that one. So shout out to that group of guys. And Zarc, I hope you keep on running well, young man. See y'all later.